Sorry. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. How are you doing? Are you enjoying the Bangalore weather? Dicey. It's better. Look at Sayuj. Sayuj is really enjoying the weather. And I think he's preparing for the next week's meet. Okay, so before we begin, I will start with a small activity. And this activity is to know all of us. So we are going to play Never Have I Ever, right? And if you have done something, or if you haven't done something, you just have to raise your hands. Hey, okay. Never have I ever skipped a meeting. Everyone. Nice, nice.
I have.
Yeah, okay. We raise hands.
If
Yes.
we have, then we
Yeah, if you have raised the hands, okay. Never have I ever skipped a meeting. Never have I ever lied to just avoid someone. Lie to avoid someone. No, Akshay doesn't lie. Okay. Never have I ever taken any leadership roles. Okay. Never have I ever been to Kerala. Never have I ever watched Akshay performing uh, in a conference. You can. Never have I ever attended Crescendo. You have. Sujit, you have. Okay. Dear guests, dear people, if you are wondering like why we are talking about Crescendo, why we are going to watch Akshay in Kerala, well, next week we all are going for the annual conference that is Crescendo, and it is happening in Kochi, Kerala, where Akshay is going to participate in 4 competitions, and he's going to represent our club, Bright Hearts. So today, everyone, I am the SA. I am Somil. I am the SA for the meeting. SA means Sergeant at Arms, which means it's my responsibility to open the meeting, to set the tone, and set the ground rules. Before we begin, let's understand what Toastmasters is. Toastmasters is an international organization which helps you build your confidence. It helps you improve your leadership skills and meet with new people. So there are certain ground rules that we have to follow before we begin the meeting. First being, I will give you 5 minutes, 5 seconds to switch off or turn your phone into silent mode. And once you're done, just give me a thumbs up. Done? The second thing is that whenever you come on stage, please give a handshake or a fist bump. Thirdly, we have washrooms on the corner, right side corner. If anyone wants to use use the washroom, you can go there. Please do not talk or move when a speaker is speaking on the stage. Please, if you want to move around, if you want to talk, just wait for the applause, and then you can take. Okay, now today the presiding officer for today is someone who is a software engineer. He tests codes and he analyzes if whether it is written by AI or a human. Apart from that, he loves playing badminton. He loves watching movies and meeting new people. So help me welcome the presiding officer for today, Priyash Tripathi. Priyash.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and thank you to audience for that lovely cheer. Before we dive into the meeting number 79 of Bright Hearts Toastmaster, I'll tell you something about Bright Heart, especially for the guests who are attending us for the first time. Bright Heart Toastmaster was founded in 2024 in the month of September. From there, from meeting by meeting, role by role, speeches by speeches, we have just grown. Grown to a level where Toastmaster decided that there is a DCP points which helps us assess the quality of the club. And we have successfully achieved all our DCP goal and earned the title of Smedley Distinguished Club. And recently, we grabbed one new award. For that, I'll just ask one question to all of you, whether you are a member or a guest. How many of you came to know about Bright Hearts by a Google review or an Instagram post or any social media platform? Well, all those posts which you have seen, Toastmaster have also seen that. And with that, we also grabbed the award, PRMO award. We were the first runner-up in that award. All thanks to our PR team for that. With that, we'll have some guest introduction. Guests can come up on stage. I'll call you guys, and you can tell your name and how you find about Bright Hearts Toastmaster. Sir, you want to come on stage? You can tell us your name and how you find about Bright.
My name is Samarth Agrawal. All right, my name is Samarth Agrawal. In short, call me Sam. I got to know about Toastmasters because of one reason. I was in my college, so I had to present somewhere. I came home, I messed up the complete presentation. I came home, I told my father about it. He was like, "Why don't you join Toastmasters?" I'm like, "What is that now?" So, so then I got to know, and then I got to know about Bright Heart. So today is my first session.
Thank you, Samarth. I'm sure you're going to have a lovely evening tonight. So why don't you come up on stage?
So first of all, thank you for the chair. And I am Aditya. I came to know about this forum through social media, like you said, through Google. I searched for the nearest one, and the one on Sunday with a kind of good representation from people of all walks of life. I have been part of Toastmasters earlier, but could not continue due to change of cities and so on. This time, I want to take it seriously, continue, and definitely evolve with all of you here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. With that, I'll open meeting number 79 of Bright Hearts Toastmaster. Now let's move on to the person who will steer this meeting. For every meeting requires an anchor who does not manage the time. He just manages the energy of the room, connect the dots with the theme, and let the audience know what the theme is about. Today's theme is about leadership lessons the tough way. This theme reminds me about that leadership is something which we not just learn by sitting. It's learned through failures, lessons, and sometimes the experiences. So this person will connect all the dots for the leadership, take us through the theme, where he will explain about the theme. Leadership is something which is not learned in the class. Please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak Kumar. Deepak! 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 Deepak!
So you already know my name and the role that I am playing. So today's theme is uh, leadership lesson learned in a hard way. Most of us want to become leaders, right? And this is not something which is taught in MBA school, how to actually lead. You can have a lot of theory, but unless and until you implement them, see them, experience them, you will not be able to learn. So as I said, some of the best lessons in leadership don't come from books. They come from mistakes, setbacks, awkward moments, and second chances. Today, let us reflect on the lessons that shaped us and the growth that followed. So, I'll jump on to how the meeting will proceed. There are 3 sections in the meeting. First is prepared speech section, where speaker who has selected the topic earlier and come prepared to speak up for 5 to 7 minutes. Second is table topic master. Table topic is something in which a table topic master will come with impromptu questions and ask the volunteers who come here. The speaker has to think and quickly think, arrange their thought, and then speak for 2 to 3 minutes. So this gives us a experience of impromptu speaking, and that is one of the major ways in which we communicate. The third section is from evaluation section. This is the most important one, in which the speakers who spoke, their evaluators will come and evaluate their speeches. Then our general evaluator will lead the evaluation. She will get all the tax team come one by one and evaluate the meeting, evaluate the speakers. And the last one is the general evaluator herself. She will give feedback from the beginning to the end of the speech. With this, I would like to introduce Maria as a general evaluator in the meeting today. When I asked her about her hard leadership lesson that she has learned, she was saying that she was struggling with to balance different leadership style. As a people leader, her style always have been based on, when she had to get used, always team based. I mean, team friendly team basis. And when she had to get used to authoritative style, it led to a lot of issues with how people took it. But she learned a balance from her mentor, who said, you need to let people say what they want. Your priority is the best outcome. So calling Maria on the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak, for that interesting introduction. How many of you were listening? So that's my role, basically, to listen to this meeting from start to finish. As the general evaluator and as the behind the scenes leader for this meeting, I wanted to start with a quote because I have been watching. Let's see how many of you can guess where this quote is from or who said it. Blood alone moves the wheels of history.
It's Adolf Hitler.
No.
Oh, it's Stalin.
No.
Mussolini.
Yes, it's Mussolini. He knows his dictators. But I won't be a dictator. I will try to be a nice, democratic, authoritative leader here in today's meeting. As we talk about leadership, I would like each of you to think about your leadership style. And our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak, will take us through all the leadership styles and what it is that makes a leader. As the general evaluator, I will be evaluating each person that comes onto the stage, giving them feedback at the end of the meeting, but I cannot do it alone because no leader can work without a team. So I have a very competent team of future leaders and current leaders as well, starting with our timer. As Steve Jobs once said, time alone, I will need to look at the code because I don't want to mess it up. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. He viewed every second as valuable. He did not want to waste any second of his time. And today, our timer, Toastmaster Shamil, who, when I asked who is the leader that inspires you, he took Steve Jobs' name. And I thought, okay, let me search for quotes by Steve Jobs about time. That's a hack that you can do. But so let's give a round of applause for our timer for the day. He will introduce his role and what are the responsibilities of a timer. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Shamil.
Shamil, 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 Shamil.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Shamil. As Maria mentioned, like I mostly inspired by tech leaders like Steve Jobs. But when I came here, I wanted to share something that shared by my CEO, my leader. So I was talking him and about something, and there is something that he shared to me that's very valuable to me. He said, "Don't cut down the time, just utilize it, optimize it." And that was a very valuable thing for me. It's not about we minimizing the time that we use, but utilizing the each and every time to its end. So that's also what I have to share with the team. So my role here is today is timer, and what I will be doing is I will be recording the time or time taken by every speaker that come to the stage, and for each speech there will be a limit. For example, for the prepared speeches, the time limit is 7 minutes, and at the 5 minute I will show the green card. At 6 minutes I will show the yellow card, and at 7 minutes I will show the red card. Similarly, for the table topic segment, for each speech I will be it is 2 minutes. So since it's an impromptu speech, at 1 minute I will show the green card. That means you are doing well. At 1.5 minutes there will be the yellow card. That means okay, still you are doing good, but you have to utilize the time again to wind up before 2 minutes. So at 2 minutes I will show the red card. And for now the evaluations of the prepared speech, it is 3 minutes. That means at 2 minutes I will show the green card, 2.5 minutes yellow card, and finally at 3 minutes I will show the red card. And for each speech, there will be a grace period of 30 seconds, after which the speech will be disqualified. So thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shamil, for keeping us on time. I love the quotes. Don't just minimize time, utilize time. So I urge all of you to utilize all the time that you have to take on the stage. Next, we have somebody who, when I asked who is a leader that inspires him, he said, nobody per se, but that you can use this one person that all of us usually have his note, his photo in our pocket. Who is it?
Gandhi.
So today, he mentioned this one quote by Gandhi: "Be the change you wish to see in this world." And today he will show us with example how we can minimize the use of our filler words. Introducing our counter for the day, Toastmaster Sujit. Round of applause.
Sujit, 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 Sujit.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today's theme, leadership lessons learned the hard way. reminds me of my fourth standard Gandhi Jayanti speech. So every year, one girl, one boy from each class gets selected to deliver a speech on 2nd October. Being a good student, I was selected. For my teachers, it was very proud moment. But for me, it felt like a trap. I went home, I told my father, who is also a teacher, he was very happy that I'll be delivering a speech. So he helped me with preparing a speech. I practiced that speech for an entire whole week. By the big day come, by the time the big day come, I was very confident. At one point in my mind, I was thinking, I'll be delivering the speech in such a way that I'll feel like a true young national leader. But when I went on the stage, I started off well, but I observed the silence for the Gandhi Jayanti. Then I started taking long pauses, repetitive words, sentences. Then finally, I ended up reading from the script. So today, as your R counter, I feel, because I went through that, I feel I'm very overqualified for this role. So I'll explain my role. My role as R counter is I'll keep the count of CRPF. C stands for crutch words, R for repetitive words, P for pauses, mostly long pauses. I'll keep those in mind, and F for filler words. So crutch words like and, well, but, so, and you know. Repetitive words like I, like that. You will say this means, or so and so. That kind of repetition, pauses, long pauses, filler words, those kind of words comes under the filler words. So when I called upon at the end of the meeting, I'll present my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sujit, for taking us through what fillers are, CRPF. Let's remember and be cognizant of that. Next, we have somebody, when I asked which leader inspires him, he took the name of the founder of one of the fastest growing e-commerce apps, Swiggy, Zomato, and which one was the third one? Zepto, the founder of Zepto, Adit Palicha. And one thing common with Adit that our grammarian has today is that he's also striving to be a better communicator. And Adit was the valedictorian of his university and is known for his communication skills. So today, our grammarian will help us sharpen our speech. So please welcome our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Ravikant!
Ravi. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. So I'm Ravikant and I'm a software developer. As expected, I'm part of my office WhatsApp group. Most of the times we just share spam messages in the WhatsApp group. Basically, birthday wishes, some festival forwards, and sometimes congratulations for becoming the parent. So last month, everyone was congratulating my colleague who recently became the parent, like for the very first time. So even I thought of congratulating that person, and I just messaged, congratulations, very eager to see your baby. Okay, like congratulations, can't wait to see your baby. So that was my intention. And later when I checked the WhatsApp message, I realized I had got 15 laughing reactions within just 5 minutes. I couldn't understand, like I got very confused. And when I checked clearly, I realized instead of typing, congratulations, can't wait to see your baby, I had actually typed, congratulations, can't wait to see you, baby. So basically, that was a typo. And everyone thought I was flirting with a married person. But luckily, that colleague was a male. So I was glad that was not a female colleague. If
Let's imagine if that was a female colleague. I'm pretty sure I would have received a mail from my HR, and that would be very awkward scenario with my HR. But I'm very glad that it didn't happen. So today, see, that's the moment when I realized how improper usage of words can be dangerous to you in some instances. So today, I'm playing the role of grammarian to make sure to find those kind of mistakes in your speech so that you don't repeat them in your future speeches. And for that reason, I will be focusing on each and every speaker's speech, and I'll take a note of each and everyone's like improper usage of words and grammatical mistakes. And also on top of that, I will try to take a note of any usage of outstanding words and famous quotes or something like that. So as a part of the grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day, debacle, which means an outright disaster or a complete failure. So the spelling is D-E-B-A-C-L-E. It shouldn't be pronounced as debacle. It should be pronounced as debacle. So I encourage each and every one of you to use that word of the day in your speech. And at the end of the meeting, I submit the report by coming onto the stage when called upon. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi, for taking us through your corporate debacle, which happened unfortunately with a misspelling. However, let's be cognizant of our grammar as we are cognizant of our time and also of our filler words. Finally, our special role is taken up by somebody when asked who is the leader that inspires you. He looked inwards towards his home. This is the first person that we meet in our life. She is the strength, and she is the one that listens to you day in and day out, regardless of what mood she is in. So when Toastmaster Twinshu, when I asked who is the leader he looks up to, it was his own mother, because she leads with clarity and boldness. And I think that could not be a better example of a leader that all of us have in our lives. So without further ado, to introduce his role and his responsibilities, please give a round of applause for Toastmaster Twinshu.
Twinshu, 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 Twinshu.
Good evening, lovely bright hearts and dear guests. As Maria mentioned, the question, who is the leader I see up to? And I've got the two answers. First, my mother, and second, my manager, who is leading our team from almost 2 years. So I thought, why to go with manager? We have the leader in our home. My mother decided which school I should go to. My mother decided where we should go to for vacation. And these days, she deciding the itinerary and where should we stay in terms of hotel and the vacation, how we should go with it. Today, I will be taking the special role in this meeting, and the special role is kind of special because this is never been we have done in our Toastmasters meeting. I would name it as leadership in a line. So I would start the sentence and you have to raise your hands up to complete what could be the next words or just complete the sentence. So I will give you an example, not now, but when called upon the GE, and let's see how it goes. Back to general of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Twinshu. So that was the Tag S team, the timer, our counter grammarian, and the special role that Twinshu just explained, leadership in a line. So I'm thinking it might be testing your listening skills, but also aligning to our theme. I will be back with my report when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, Toastmaster Deepak, and thank you all for your time.
So we move to the speaker, prepared speech speaker. But for every section, I have a lesson that I have learned hard way, and I would like to share to you. Those are something my personal lessons. and I hope today I'm able to add value to you. My first lesson as a leadership was I was doing micromanagement with my team. It was my first leadership work. So, I used to get in the discussion at in depth, trying to guide everybody. I drafted a template that should be used by the team to communicate to users who raises incident. So this will be the template. And with that, I thought it is going fine. Our CIO had come from US, and he called my team members and talked to them. And he realized that model of the team is down. He gave me that feedback. I was shocked. I did not know that what I am doing wrong. So I pivoted my management style with the team. I stopped getting into each and every detail discussion so that they develop themselves. I started talking about things outside the work in order to build rapport, going with them in the lunchtime. And I think it was a very good team, and we were able to, I was able to lift up the morale of the team, and they were doing a good job. So don't micromanage. It depends. It also depends on of course, the work and the people whom you have given the authority. So if you are confident about this is the right person to do the work, you stay away from detail of the job. So only go to the depths where suggestions to the team for the job is needed. Otherwise, let them take the control. At this stage, I would like to call evaluator number 1, Carol. When I asked about her leadership lessons, she explained that she developed strong leadership skills during her time as BPM at HSR Toastmaster under President Akshay. Whose example taught her when firm or flexible, how to give feedback, and how to delegate effectively. Skills she built over her 6-month term. Kudos to you, Akshay. I think I may write one day. You are giving me a lot of time. So calling on the stage, Carol.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are we feeling so far? Great, awesome. Okay. So, my target speaker, Ilango, will be attempting his 4th project in level 1 of his pathway, Dynamic Leadership. Now, what is the purpose of this project? The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic and of any style. It can be informational, it can be inspirational, persuasive, or humorous. But the speaker will receive feedback from me today on his speech. Now, based on the feedback, he will incorporate this in another speech in a subsequent meeting. So that is basically the purpose of this project. Timer, please note timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish my target speaker, Ilango, all the very best.
So calling speaker Ilango to the stage. Oh. And oh. Hi, speaker Elango. Um, okay. Elango, not a checklist, not a checklist. Elango, all the best.
Everyone says marriage is everyone says marriage is turning point in life. It began when we started thinking about our companion, someone who stand for us for rest of our life. In this case, my journey didn't begin with me. It began with my parents. Yes, my parents started searching allies for me. Wherever my mother went, temples, functions, even grocery stores, she used to say, let me know any girl available for my son's marriage. I wondered, I worried, any girl? The sound, risky. I went back to my mom. Mom, don't say any girl, just say beautiful girl. She agreed. After a few days, I started thinking, only beautiful girl? What if she is not lean? Like, no, 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 no. I went again back to my mom. Mom, say beautiful girl, beautiful and lean girl. She politely nodded. My mind didn't stop there. It started thinking again. What if she's come from city? Will I adjust? Then again went back to my mom. Mom, say beautiful, lean and village girl. That moment, my mother probably wondered, she is searching for bride or customizing online order. One day, my family friend came with proposal. He said, one girl is available. She is from village, educated and beautiful. Yes, lean as well. My father said, tomorrow we're going to meet that family. Next day, our journey started with 3 bikes full of excitement and full of expectation. Halfway through, while riding bike, it was raining heavily. Then we stopped near the shutter. That shutter meant for only 5 members, whereas 25 members, we squeezed like this. We were drenched, but mission continued. We entered narrow road, farming land, full of greenery. We reached small village. Near the banyan tree, one girl praying in front of Ganesha statue like this. She is wearing maroon elegant sari. Seeing that, I relaxed. One expectation is met. She's looked like village girl. We reached home. Since we were wet, they gave towel and they asked us to sit. Most memorable moment came. Someone said, ask the girl to come. Suddenly, I was straightened, sitting on chair, adjusting collar. With full of excitement, I slowly turned. There was old lady offering coffee. I just smiled politely. Then, after a few minutes, someone said loudly, why are you delaying? Ask that girl to come. That moment, she is walked in. She's the same girl. I seen her near the banyan tree. She's wearing that same maroon elegant sari. I just seen her face. That moment, everything became silent for me. That moment, I find very important things in my life. Searching bridal, it's not about creating perfect checklist. Not beauty, not lean, not even lean. How many conditions we add on, heart does not follow. When I saw her, I was quiet and I felt my inner voice saying, she is the one. Dear friends, especially who is not married, this advice is for you. Searching bridal is not someone you search for perfectly, rather than someone you feel deeply. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Okay. Now we move on to the second speech. Before that, my hard lesson I'll share. Failure can be the best teacher. A failed project teaches you a lot of things than a success one. So, example that I have is from my company, very good company from MNC, and very rich company, and they used to pay very rich salary also. We had a SAP transformation project, which means globally we will move the latest version of SAP S/4HANA and take the earlier version down. The project was having enough budget, but the leadership and the project management and the leadership was not to that level. So the contracting partner company made a lot of money, and we had to reduce the scope. A new CIO joined because of that, and they reduced the scope from global to US only, North America only, and from a new implementation to migration, from ECC 6 to S/4HANA migration. New CIO, new leadership, new plan, and a lot of internal discussions happened to make sure that that project is not failed. Fortunately, the project was successful thanks to the planning and the leadership of the team. So, and of course, there were a lot of lessons learned from that failure of the project. The whole partner was changed, and we were able to be successful and deliver the project under budget. At this stage, I would like to call Wasim as the evaluator for the speaker number 2. When I asked Wasim, have you learned any leadership lesson in a hard way? He said, yes. Assigning the right people to the right task is the lesson that I have learned. I have burnt my fingers, and this is the lesson that I have. So, calling evaluator to the stage, Wasim.
Thank you, Deepak. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. I have learned a lot of hard lessons, and I have also seen a lot of people learning so. But I have seen different types of people responding to it in a different way. Okay, some of them, like Deepak, come here and share with us so we can all learn. Some of them are like, it's cool, macha, let's chill, why bother? And then there are some people, that fan is disturbing me, that's why I failed. No, and then it's switched off now. But there are some people who can't wait to fix their lessons. You know, they come 30 minutes before the meeting, keep practicing, keep hitting their head. They be outside practicing until the first speech set completes. You know, our next speaker is one of those who takes all the lessons to heart and puts dedicated effort. And thankfully, Toastmasters is a platform which also provides that opportunity. So our next speaker is attempting level 1 project for a second speech. The purpose of this speech is to receive feedback from a first speech and apply it in this particular speech. With that, timer, please know the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to you, Jurmin. Back to you, Deepak.
Thank you. So on the stage, I would like to call Jurmin. Please. Jurmin, belonging beyond work, Jurmin. All the best.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster and dear guests. Let me start with a question. How many of you come to a place like here, or maybe in office, where you do your part and quietly leave without actually connecting to people around you? Yes, I guess so. We come like we are in a secret mission, in and out without even an eye contact, right? Why bother doing small talk when we have WhatsApp and text, right? Well, friend, that was my belief for a long, long time. Until one conversation changed that belief for me. So it was early in my career when I was working in a major IT firm. And I was this laid back person minding my business only. I come to office, do my work, and go home. Then one day, our managing director called me for a one-on-one discussion. So as I was walking down the meeting room, I kept wondering what it could be. MD with a junior resource, what he has to talk. Well, I was not worried because I was pretty dedicated resource with a very good review from my stakeholders. So what it could be? My mind started running all the scenarios, possible scenarios. Maybe he wants some office gossip. I have many. Not that I'm going to tell him. Of course, he's a managing director. So as I reached outside the meeting room, I took a deep breath, knocked the door, entered, and quite awkwardly I greeted, "Hi, Murli, you asked for me?" Murli said, "Jermaine, hello, please take a seat. So, how's things at your end?" I quickly jumped into running my day-to-day activity as if he didn't have anything better to do than having chit-chat with me, right? So I was telling, I am building this report, this data came from the client, and this is annoying, but I am doing my best. And he cut me short. "Jermaine, how long you have been working here?" "About a year." "Well, can you tell me the name of the person who is sitting in front of you?" I leaned and glanced outside the meeting room. I recognize his face, but I don't remember his name. Then again, he said, "How about the person who is sitting behind you?" At this moment, I was a bit embarrassed. "Maybe Murli, I suppose." And then suddenly his voice changed to a serious note. "Jermaine, you have been working here for almost a year, sitting in the same bay with the same people, and you don't even know their name. You see, last week we had a grand annual event. I remember inviting you, even your manager invited you, but you didn't bother to turn up." At this moment, it hit me. All this while, I was trying to keep a low profile, almost invisible, but clearly that did not work. So he continued, "It is really disappointing when some of us put so much effort to make such events successful, and some of you don't even bother to turn up. You see, we invest so much in an event so that we want to build a culture where you don't feel obligated to come, but where you find a sense of belonging and you love to come." At this moment, I was a bit ashamed. But later at that day, when I reflected, I realized, yes, he was right. I spend most of my waking hours in this office, yet I treat it like a place to escape from. So I took a small decision. I started saying yes to my team outings, team events. That small choice has changed a positive mindset in me. Now, I started considering my colleague as my friends, and work does not look so dull and boring. I look forward. Monday doesn't look heavy anymore because now I don't have to wait for weekends to meet my friends. Now I have my friends as my colleague. So work became an enjoyable place where I love to go and be there and meet my new friends. So that's bring me here today in front of all of you. Because in Toastmaster, we just don't come to give our speech and go home. But we can choose to do more. We can choose to connect. We can choose to stay back after the meeting. We can support each other even after the speeches backstage. So, friend, you can do more by staying and getting more involved. So, because success is just about knowing you for your work, but to know you as a person. So the choice is yours. So with that, thank you, and let's connect after the meeting. Over to you.
The third lesson, which I am currently learning hard way, you guys are 20s, in 20s, I am in my 50s. If the growth requires discomfort, if you want to grow, it will not happen without any effort. So someone who is nervous about public speaking and joins Toastmasters Club, and today he's trying the T-Mod role. I know one of the most complex role in the meeting, according to me. Will obviously grow, will obviously learn as more and more such meetings he involves himself in. So remember that if you want to grow, be a leader, you need to put yourself in discomfort mode. Do something which is good for the company. You sharpen your skills, stay relevant, and all that comes with it. At this stage, I would like to call evaluator number 3, Akshay, to talk about the project speaker number 3 is doing. Akshay, 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 Akshay.
All right, thank you, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing today? Good. I'm doing awesome too. First of all, Deepak, first time as CMOD, what a great job so far. Always lovely to see our Bright Hearts members taking new roles, breaking new barriers. So keep it up, Deepak. Today, I'm here to evaluate my target speaker, who is Toastmaster Sumit. Sumit is attempting the first project in his level 2. The project is called Understanding Your Communication Style. The purpose of this project is for Sumit to understanding your communication style. Right. The purpose of this project is for Sumit to understand different kinds of communication style, identify his communication style, and the impact of his communication style on others. Timer, please note that the time for Sumit's speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Sumit, and back to you, Deepak.
Okay, Sumit Ranjan is our speaker number 3. Leadership lesson that he had shared with me is that when his team struggled, he would step in and solve problems himself to save time. Okay. While this was effective in the short term, it created dependencies and limited growth to the team. He later shifted to coaching, explaining his thinking and training the team, helping them become more confident, independent, and ultimately improving efficiency and ownership. So with that, I would like to welcome Sumit Ranjan. Sumit Ranjan, the introvert who had to speak up. The introvert who had to speak up. Sumit. Thank you. All the best.
Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. Picture this, a conference hall, a panel of bankers sitting, a projector is on, and on display is a financial model, built cell by me. I knew every number, every formula, every assumption. Honestly, if you even woke me at 3 a.m. in the morning, I could explain the model to in detail. One of the senior bankers from the panel stands up. He looks towards our group and says, "All right, let's start. Who is going to present?" Before the meeting, we had decided I would be the one presenting the model, since I had worked on it. But when the judge called out, I did not raise my hand. I took a step back. We gathered in a huddle, discussed for a few minutes, and decided my colleague, Mr. X, will present, because he seemed to be more confident. Mr. X raises his hand, walks forward, takes center stage, and starts presenting the model. I see Mr. X presenting my work, received with applause and applauses. I see my work being presented by someone else and earning someone else a fortune. The presentation is done, the meeting ends, the results come, and Mr. X gets shortlisted and gets the offer. That day, I lost a very coveted opportunity, which I've been waiting for. Not because I lacked the technical skills, but because I was underconfident. Now I have done a lot of reflections since that day. I have realized it was neither my introversion nor my shyness which had held me back. Probably it was my communication style. I would like to say I'm an analytical communicator. I rehearse before I act. I think before I speak. In fact, even before ordering food, I practice ordering before calling up the restaurant. This seemed to work well for a few days. In fact, for the most of my BTech and the MBA tenure. I stayed back, I listened, and I observed. I would prepare the presentation, do the analysis, have all the content ready, while someone else in the group would present. I loved being the engine while somebody else drove. But I learned the hard way. Doing only doesn't matter much. You have to own your work. You have to speak up for it. And what better example could have been than the final placement season, where I lost that coveted investment banking job. Being an analytical communicator has its own strengths. You research more, you analyze more, you think more, and have a solid analysis. But I was not channeling these traits in the right direction. Instead, I was hiding behind it. I was using silence as an excuse. I was considering it as my savior, but instead, it was shielding me from success. So I tried to make some changes. I tried to adapt myself while speaking to different audiences. Every audience has a different communication style. I believe no communication style is better than others. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. I tried to implement this change. I tried to study the audience, gauge their communication style, and tailor my offerings according to that. And I noticed some changes. People started listening to me more. They started appreciating more. Not because I spoke more, but because I spoke what and when it mattered. Today, I believe I'm still an analytical communicator. At least most of my traits fit into that communication style. I still overanalyze things. I still overthink. But I no longer let that silence be my shield. I decide when to lead with data and when to lead with voice. As I conclude my speech, I would like to say a few things. There might be someone else, either in this room or somebody somewhere else, who might be an introvert or an analytical communicator who has a solid work, a groundbreaking research, but he might be waiting for someone else to present or waiting for the right moment to present. I would like to say this: that right moment never comes. That person who is going to present has always been you. Speak up, step forward, own your work, voice it. That is how true leaders are made. Thank you.
So with this, we have finished with the section of prepared speeches. And we would like to take the audience voting now. Can you write the it.talva and project it? So it is http colon and bit.ly /bstm vote 1.
Connect to Wi-Fi network. Password is mushroom. For the link access, please help.
Yes. Can project it here? Okay. So after the break, our time for table topic has come. But before that, let me summarize what are the lessons that I explained to you. The first lesson was don't micromanage, and because it hampers work and morale. Learn from failure, right? A failed project often teaches more than an easy success. So even if you fail in anything, it gives you a lot of learning so that you can grow. And the third is accept discomfort to grow. So how many of you by here are into artificial intelligence, the way the global companies are working on? What are the areas in which artificial intelligence is being used? Are you aware about what's going on? So because this is going to be it will, unless we start following it with training and learning, this is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And one day we will be dependent on artificial intelligence. And at that time you want to start learning it, it will be very difficult. So there are clubs, there is an Ichai group in which people come, like Toastmaster. There are events that they organize in which your inventors or startup come talk about their ideas, where they are stuck, and what help they need. So try to make sure that artificial intelligence bandwagon you don't miss. Okay. With that, I would like to welcome table topic master Pragya. Her hard lesson was in the school. She had taken charge of Teachers' Day event. She was hosting it, and she had also collected money and decided the gifts. But at the end of the day, due to so many responsibilities, things went haywire. So what she learned is I should have had a team, and she would have delegated the work to them as a leader to make it successful. So with that, please welcome Pragya as a table topic master. Yeah. You could give it to speakers.
Okay. Yeah. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Raise your hand if you like samosas. Now raise your hand if you hate samosas which has no potato in it or aloo in it. Okay. Similar to you guys, my batchmate hated the samosas which has no aloo but it had noodles in it. So in my college days, I was part of food committee. And one fine day, I got this mind-blowing idea to put noodles into the samosas. But my batchmate hated it. They started complaining about it. When I raised it with the team, they didn't care about it. The next week, again, we received the noodle samosa. And this time, my batchmate did not only hated the samosas, they started hating me. I got so much criticism over a samosa. It was too much to take in. I decided I should leave it. But I stayed calm as it was, taking a charge and I wanted to go it well. So I asked the head of the food committee and they finally changed it. The aloo was back into the samosa and so was the trust of my batchmates on me. This was my hard lesson. Today, I am taking role of table topic master and it's my responsibility to call upon the Toastmasters and also the guests on the stage to practice their impromptu speaking. The timer, you can note that the timing would be 2 minutes for each the speakers. I also encourage all the speakers to use the word of the day, debacle, which means complete disaster. Like for me, the innovative idea of noodle samosa turned into a complete debacle. With that, we will start the round. I have already distributed few digits or the numbers to the speakers. Can we have the speaker 1 on the stage? Shri Hari. Hari, 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 Hari. So we have few chits here. You need to just pick the number that you have got. Yeah. Okay. Can you do it for me? Okay. Hari, do you see yourself as a future club officer in Toastmaster? Hari, do you see yourself as a future club officer in Toastmaster? Over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. I think the question that I've been asked to speak about is, can I or do I see myself being a officer in Toastmasters at some time in future? I don't really have a easy way to say yes or no, so I'm gonna talk as I think. I think the first thing that would depend if I ever become an officer in Toastmasters, if I have some similar experience previously. This takes me back to my class 6, where my maths teacher asked me to become the captain of the scout club in school. And I asked, why do you want me to become the captain of the scout club? What he told was, you scored the most in maths. So that kind of by default gives you the right to be the leader, which I did not question at that time, because maybe he is kind of assuming that if somebody is doing justice to the academics, he might be by default doing justice to whatever he's asked to do. And that tenure as a scout leader was complete disaster for me, because I was too focused on myself. I was kind of selfish at that time. I wanted what's the best for myself, not necessarily what's best for the school scout club. And we didn't do great that year. I think similar to that, I see myself change a lot now. I may not be as selfish. Over time, experience has taught me to become more focused on the goal, not necessarily my own growth. So I think I am eager to become or contribute towards Toastmasters after getting sufficient idea about how the club works, what I can add value as an individual. I would definitely be trying to take up a role as a Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shri Hari. With that, we would like to call upon the next speaker. Can you raise your hand who has the chit number 2 or maybe 3? Yeah. Harshad, it is right? Yeah, please come on stage. Harshad, 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 Harshad or Harshad?
Harshad.
Harshad, right? Okay. Harshad, can you pick that chit from here, please? Yeah. Harshad. D is there in that. Yeah. Yeah, please. Harshad, yeah. Scam. Are you ready for a scam?
No.
Okay. Harshad, what are the qualities a leader must have? What are the qualities a leader must have, Harshad? Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Currently, I'm working as an individual contributor only in my organization. So the prospect thing which I think a leader should have, I will cover that instead of And first of all, I think there should be a leader should have trust in his team. So when a leader has a trust in his team, he should not be something like a micromanager guy. So he should distribute the works. All those things are fine, but at the end, right, he should not blame any specific person. And other than this, I feel the should be inclusive, right? A leader should be able to have an open communication with each of his team members. He should feel himself as a responsible for making a communication. Okay, so it's his responsibility. His team members are able to communicate very transparently what they think about the team or how they think about the process. And the third thing which I think a leader should have is to back his team, right? If something fails, then he should be able to back his team, especially in front of others, instead of blaming the team, okay, to his senior management. He should take the things on himself. And so, okay, so these are the three things which I feel a leader should have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshad, for sharing your valuable thoughts on this topic. Now, can we have the third speaker? Can you please raise your hand who has received the chit number 3 or maybe 4? No one? Okay, maybe 5? Anyone? What?
Where is 3 and 4?
So they have multiple chits. They have, yeah. What leadership skills you learned from the Toastmasters meeting? Sayuj, what leadership skills you learned from the Toastmaster meeting? Sayuj, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Leader is a dealer in hope." I once said, "Damn it, the evaluator hasn't come. Can you be the evaluator?" I am currently the Vice President Education in the club. And that's one of the things that I do every week after week, ensuring that the agenda gets fit. And that's very important, not just for filling up the agenda, but identifying which members can fit where. Not just fitting, but what is the member's growth? What is the member looking at? And trying to adapt that member's growth to what roles can be played and help the member grow. So that is one of the leadership skills that I learned as the current VP head. How do I manage huge agenda, huge set of people, and the biggest challenge that I have is controlling people when the slots for the speech opens and you guys keep messaging me, can I get the backup? I had this problem here, but you know, how do you handle such thing? And that is what I learned as a leader in Toastmasters.
Sorry, you were loud enough. Thank you so much, Sayuj. I have already, I think, admired you for the rounds that you always prepare the club meetings. And I had this question in my mind that I asked Sayuj that, do you have a personal life or it's all about Toastmasters? But yeah, he is very well doing it. So thank you so much. Can we have a next speaker, please? Maybe the next number, it was 5. So speaker number 6. Okay. Aditya, please. Adi, 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 Adi. Sorry. Okay, so the topic is one leadership skill you admire about your manager. I'm not sure if you're manager. So one leadership skill you admire about manager, Aditya.
Thank you.
Just a minute.
Good evening, everyone. And I know it's a tough topic because it's really hard to appreciate your manager at times for his leadership skills. But I do appreciate my manager for a few things. One is like trusting the team. I have more than 15 years of experience, and invariably I change my job every 5 years. As a result, I've seen more than 3-4 managers in my career so far, and each of them come with unique qualities. My current manager, he definitely micromanages a lot, but given the feedback we gave him from the bottoms up, now he is letting us drive things on our own, which is a great thing. And seeing his evolution from a basically individual contributor to somebody who really cares about team. It's not just managing a team, it's about giving safety to your team as well. So all those qualities I really appreciate. And I remember the earlier days when he was a people micromanager. That was a debacle for all of us in the team. And we really forced him to look us in a different way and basically treat us like we are independent. We are somebody who can do things on our own. And it has really worked well for us and for our team and everyone in the organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aditya. It also reminds me about my manager. The quality that I admire about him is even if you are sitting next to him and he is discussing about the appraisal, you cannot listen him. He whispers so slowly that even the person sitting next to him cannot listen. And so that's why I decided not to sit next to him anymore. There is no profit of that. With that, we will call upon the next speaker. Can we have? Okay, sure. Your name? Sahil. Okay. Hi, Sahil. 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 You can speak as well. Can you read? Okay. Sahil, your topic is leaders are born or made. Leaders are born or made, Sahil. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Leaders carry a lot of weights. It's true. But a leader, how lightly him or she manages a stuff, that's his or her quality. And that attitude, everybody praises and a team follows. A small anecdote. An event happened. Mr. Rao was the leader and a 5-member team was in support. And they went for the event and the conduct was of 1 hour. They spent 7 days rigorously to make that 1 hour worth it. They went, but it was completely debacle thing. And everybody was readable through their face. Mr. Rao saw clearly that everybody is disappointed with the results. Okay. And you guys think what you will do in that situation if you are holding that position of Mr. Rao. Now, what Mr. Rao did, Mr. Rao asked all of them, after calculating a budget and selecting a restaurant, to have party after the event. And everybody was so surprised why it's happening. And they went there and Mr. Rao said, do, order whatever you want. And everybody had food, and then they had a music festa for next 15 minutes. And Mr. Rao was also humming few songs. He was like, ki, Mosam jara sa badla. And exactly like you guys, everybody wanted to make him stop singing, stop humming. And afterwards, somebody asked, why this food, why this treat? We were not good in the event. And then Mr. Rao replied, listen up. This is to promote the hard work we did. It's about winning, I know. And we need to improve for the next meeting, for the next event. The only way is to spend that week again with the rigorous practice. And this is for that successful operation you guys did. Okay, so I'm promoting this. So everybody understood how leaders behave, think. And I was in the team, and I learned from that, and I applied. I will definitely apply. So my message is key leaders are not born, they are made, as I'm trying to becoming a leader. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we will call one more speaker. Okay, hi. It was, sorry. Samarth, yeah. Samarth. What's the number? What was the number?
8.
I'll read for you. Okay, Samarth, your topic is, tell us about a leader you want to be like one day. Tell us about a leader you want to be like one day. Samarth.
So in my college, there's this one guy who wins every events. Like, we've got events like you get on spotters. It's about a business. Basically, the event name is Vistas. So in that, you get a couple of judges, and they evaluate your company. You're supposed to make a hypothetical company. You evaluate them, and you have to present everything, making financial statements, presenting about it, handling your team. This one guy, he participates in all the events, wins all of them. He's head of one of the biggest theater team of our whole college. How? How does he even do that? From where does he get the 25th hour? So I talked to him. He's my super senior, actually. So he was like, just focus on what you do. This college is a place of connections. The more connections you're able to build, the better it's for you in college and in future. And so he's like my mentor, as he is my senior. He's preparing for MBA now. So the one leadership skill I learned from him, you're good at technical, but if you're not able to present it, you can't do anything. The other person will take your position and then he'll just leave. So that's all. Be a good speaker and get the 25th hour with the coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam, for sharing your thoughts. And with that, we will wrap up this table topic round here. Thank you for all the speakers who came on stage today. And over to you, Toastmaster of the... Okay. No, okay, General Evaluator. Okay, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya, for that energizing table topic session, talking us through each leader-based question. What a way to tie us to the theme and also give the opportunity for each speaker to also get a chance to impromptu practice how to speak on theme. let's get into the general evaluation section. I will be dividing my evaluation into 3 segments. First, I'll be calling our evaluators who have promptly and I hope diligently evaluated our 3 prepared speakers. Second, I will call our Tag S team. And finally, I will be giving my evaluation. So without further ado, let's give a round of applause for our first evaluator evaluating Toastmaster Ilango, Toastmaster Carol! People online can hear Pragya saying, Carol.
Good evening, everyone, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Ilango. Ilango, your speech title, Not a Checklist. I kept thinking, what could the speech possibly be about? Is it about work? Is it about Toastmasters? But as you kept speaking, I realized how well you weaved your title through your speech with a great message towards the end. And it helped us have a reality check as to how pathetic the marriage market is, right? It's seldom an emotional decision and like more of a transactional decision. And yeah, that really, really captured the essence of your speech. And with that, let me begin with the things that I really liked about your speech. Started with number 1, your humor. I liked how you sprinkled bits of humor here and there, especially during instances like when your mom said, let me know of any girl available for my son's marriage. And how you said, don't say any girl, beautiful girl. Or when you said, when your mom said, am I searching for a girl or a customized online order? Right? So I think when you added these instances, it made it very light and very easy for me to absorb as an audience. Secondly, is with respect to your body language. Now, this detail or this aspect of your speech might seem very small, but it did add layers to your speech, especially when your dad said, ask the girl to come. Where is the girl? Or when you said, as soon as the girl came, I adjusted my collar, sat straight. Or when you said, there was an old lady sitting beside me. I just sat politely with that fake smile. So those small details really added layers to your speech, which I think created an imagery of what is exactly happening in that situation. Now, let me move on to the things that I think personally are areas of improvement for you. Starting with number 1, detailing of scenes. Now, with respect to scenes, I mean in particular, scenes where you admire the girl that you're visiting. There was a time when you said, I came out of the car and I saw a girl standing in front of the banyan tree praying. She was so beautiful. Or when you said, I met the same girl in the room and the room grew quiet and I was in awe. I just felt like she was the right one for me. Now, while I did feel what you were feeling there, I would have liked a little bit more detailing of the scene. For example, I got out of the car and I saw a girl standing there in front of a banyan tree, dusky skinned, her wavy hair flying against the wind, and all I could hear was I met the same very girl at her place, and all I could think was that would have really added impact. And secondly is with respect to depth in realization. If you could have explained exactly what about her made you realize that not everything is about checklists. What stood out to you? Was it the checklist? Was her adhering to the checklist, or was it beyond the checklist? What about her made you feel like, damn, she is the one for me and not everything is about checklists? Would have definitely added more impact to your message. With that, while I liked your humor and the body language, which added layers to your speech, I would have liked it if you added more detailing of scenes, more depth in your realization, and I think that would definitely elevate your speech to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Carol. And Toastmaster Carol very well explained how a masterful evaluation is delivered by showing examples. Each and every point she mentioned, she illustrated with an example. So great job, Toastmaster Carol, there. I love how you structured your evaluation. I will not comment on the speaker because I think the evaluator has covered all points. So I do not have any further additions. Great job, Toastmaster Elango. Just a feedback or a challenge for you, Toastmaster Carol. When you talked about detailing in the scene, I felt that you were talking more about adding more voice modulation or theatrics there. If we were talking about detailing in the scene, you did mention the first example, which I felt fit the description of detailing, but the second one where you're talking about just adding the theme song, I feel like it could be categorized more as adding a theatrical effect. But great job, Toastmaster Carol. Once again, really well done. Round of applause for the speaker and evaluator. Next, evaluating our second speaker, Toastmaster German, please welcome her evaluator, Toastmaster Wasim.
Wasim, 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 Wasim.
How many of you had a conversation with a new person in that small 15 minutes that we had in the break? Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Jurman, what I really loved about your speech today was the overall message that you had. Like, you can win in your work, you can give a solid speech, but do people know you? Or do you know the people? I really had that takeaway and it will stay with me. What I also loved was the way you started with the audience engagement. Like you asked, how many of you quietly leave at the end of the meeting? And we see a lot of hands raising, including mine. So that instantly brought most of us into the speech. So the moment you ask such a question, it gets intrigued, and then we start following your speech. What I most loved was the conversation that you had between you and your manager. Because the moment you bring in a conversation, right, that monotonous thing breaks, and then we start feeling like, okay, we were there witnessing you and your manager in your office. And the way you did it, right, the vocal variety and the pauses you brought in. For example, when you said, like, your manager said, we invest so much to build culture, and you don't turn up. For a moment, I felt embarrassed. That picturization helped us go through what was actually happening in the scene. That particularly was the objective of this particular speech from your last speech, to work upon your vocal variety and the pauses that you were lagging in the previous speech. Now, considering that you took your manager's feedback seriously and worked on it, I also have a couple of points. So first one is the conclusion. So while most of the speech went well, I felt the conclusion was, kind of distilled down in the bit. It went like, we have to connect, we have to start speaking, kind of thing. Now, this is how I would like you to try to rephrase it. Probably if I had done it, this is how I have done it. 1 year ago, when my manager asked, do you know the names of the people around you? I was ashamed. I didn't know. 1 year after, if he asked me, I can tell you each and every, not just their names, but about them in detail. Because they are no more colleagues, because they are my friends. Ask yourself, be it office, be it Toastmasters, do you know the persons really? And do they know you? That would have made a little more impactful conclusion. What you primarily need to add is a clear call to action and a way to recall from the previous part of your speech. My second feedback would be on your delivery. I think some parts of your speech, you are having your hands folding and then looking down at the stage, which I think breaks the connect with the audience. So if you can work on it, it would be great. To conclude, you have a great message, you have great audience engagement, and a great improvement in your vocal variety. If you can work on the conclusion and the delivery, I think you can help a lot of people change their colleagues to friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wasim, for masterfully also illustrating what a good conclusion would look like. Toastmaster German, I could not agree more with Toastmaster Wasim. If you would have just tied back your story to the takeaway, I think it would have made a world of difference. And Toastmaster Wasim masterfully done with the evaluation. I like how you showcased with the example. I was waiting, is he going to give me an example of the conclusion? And you did it even with the voice modulation, which was also the next part for Toastmaster German. No major feedback, but I would suggest if you can open with more thematic alignment with the speaker's speech. I know you tried to have the audience engagement, which I love, but a bit more alignment with what you're going to say next, that would have helped. But great job, round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator. And finally, last but not the least, evaluating our third speaker, Toastmaster Sumit. Please welcome the district evaluation champion. Look at his expression. Who will be at Crescendo next week. I hope all of us are there cheering him on. Please welcome Toastmaster Akshay.
Stop waiting for the right moment, because the right moment never comes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Sumit. Today, Sumit, you gave us all a story about how it is important to speak up, step forward, and own your work. Let's talk about some of the highlights from your speech for me. Firstly, the inspiring message. Especially in a room full of Toastmasters, talking about how we should all own up, be confident, speak up is something that is so relevant to everyone in this room. And to pick relevant messages is a very important skill. I love how you found a way to do that in a project for understanding your communication style. So really great job. Secondly, I loved the vocabulary. There were many instances where you paid wonderfully vivid pictures. For example, picture this, a conference hall, a panel of bankers, and a financial model on a slide. I felt like I was in the room. Later on, you had a wonderful line where you said, you have to own your work, you have to speak up for it. One moment which really stood out for me in your speech was when you said, I built the engine while someone else drove it. It felt painful thinking about how others can take credit for your work. Now, let me go into some things which I think will really take your speech to the next level. Firstly, content clarity. Now, I felt at some points in your speech, I was a little unsure about the story that was unraveling. The placement debacle, I was unsure how the work that you put in was taken up by someone else and how that person got all the credit. Later on with your growth trajectory, when you said, I was looking for audiences and understanding their communication styles, and eventually they started listening to me more, I didn't quite understand how their communication styles was helping you. So content clarity is definitely something you can improve. Secondly, your project objective. You spoke about how you were an analytical communicator. I would have loved to hear how you as an analytical communicator made an impact. For example, in the pizza delivery, you said, I practice ordering pizzas. And I tell my pizza delivery guy, half cup of mozzarella cheese, half cup of cheddar, and no basil. And the guy on the other line went silent. So an example of how your communication style can make an impact is something I would like to hear. Finally, the other project objective of what communication style are you aspiring for? Is it direct? Is it initiating? I know that you got a burst of confidence by the end of that speech, but what was your communication style that you were seeking? That I would have loved to hear. Toastmaster Sumit, in terms of project objectives, I would have loved to hear you talk more about your style and the style you wish to become. I would have also liked to see more content clarity. But with great vocabulary and an inspiring message, you are building a public speaking engine which will drive you to the zenith of success. Back to you, Maria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for a very clear and clean evaluation for Toastmaster Sumit. I do agree with all the evaluations that Toastmaster Akshay gave. I would add that Toastmaster Sumit, when you had your conclusion, you had a very strong opportunity to use your voice modulation. Speak up, step forward, and voice it. That was the 3 words that you could have emphasized on, and people would have remembered it and taken it as a takeaway. But overall, great job on a very strong message, especially on communication style in a forum like Akshay mentioned. Very relatable. Toastmaster Akshay, I think your evaluation as usual is on point with the examples, a lot of examples that you showcased. I would suggest if you could spend a bit more time on giving the speaker ways that they can improve as opposed to talking more on the examples, because I did like that you had a lot of instances you mentioned where you talked about this was good and this was good, but I wanted you to spend a bit more time on how Toastmaster Sumit could have given better content clarity. I know you spent a lot of time there, but taking away some of the examples maybe would help, at least in my opinion. But overall, thank you so much for our targets, for our speaker and evaluator. Let's give them a round of applause. Quickly moving on to our second section, our Tag S team. Let's call the man with the watch who has been diligently timing this entire meeting, Toastmaster Shamil. Round of applause.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
This Friday, I saw a post on Instagram. So it was a photo regarding the long queue in the Mysore Express Highway toll gate, because it's a long weekend and everyone was leaving Bangalore for some holidays. But all of you guys, you decided to come to the Bright Arts meeting and to learn and support each other for learn. So congratulations everyone for coming here. But since you are here, it's everyone's responsibility to respect other people's time also. So first of all, I am congratulating the team because we are doing a wonderful job in maintaining the time. So after that, I am moving to the report. So overall, we have 3 disqualifications, one in the introduction section and role introduction section, and one in the table topics, and one in the evaluation section. Now I will move to the timings of different speakers. So Elango, you took 6 minutes and 53 seconds despite having a restart on your speech. So congratulations. Jurmin, you took 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Sumit, you took 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, next, I'm going to the evaluation section. Carol, you took 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Asim, you took 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And Akshay, you took 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Moving to the table topic section, Srihari, you completed your speech within 1 minute and 43 seconds. Harshat, you completed your speech in 1 minute 43 seconds. Saj, you completed your speech in 1 minute 30 seconds. Aditya, you took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Sahil, you took 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And finally, Samad, you took 1 minute and 50 seconds. So moving to my next section, which is regarding the timing of the meetings. We started the meeting a little delay, like we had a 3-minute delay, but that's okay. Now, next is the prepared speech segment, which was started by 4 and 32 p.m. and which was supposed to be end by 5 o'clock and 2 minutes, but 5 minutes, but it was end after 2 minutes late, which is 5 minutes and 5 o'clock and 7 p.m. And we started our break by 5:12 and we came back by 5:27. Then next we started our table topics by 5:32 and we had 30 minutes for the section, but we completed that in 20 minutes. And yeah, so overall we are doing a good job in maintaining our time. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamil, for the very detailed report. This is the first time I've heard timings for the specific segments. So I think that's a good addition to help the XCOM keep track of how the meeting is going. However, Toastmaster Shamil, I would suggest if we can make it a bit more concise. So instead of talking about the exact minute to minute, you could mention the overtime that we had. So you could, for instance, instead of saying we were overtime, we started at 5:02 and then ended at 5:37, you can say we were overtime in the table topic segments by 5 minutes. We were on time in prepared speeches, something like that, so that you can also maximize your time. But overall, great job. Round of applause for Toastmaster Shamil. Next, let me call our R counter who has been diligently checking if we have been utilizing the CRPF, if you remember that. So round of applause for Toastmaster Sujit.
Once again, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'll present my report for the CRPF. I'll go start from the Toastmaster of the day, Deepak. He used A for 10 times, 6 times, so multiple times, and there were multiple inappropriate pauses. Then coming to general evaluator, I used A 3 times, so 2 times and 3 times. Now coming to the speaker, Speaker Ilango used A 4 times, 2 times and 3 times. There were repetition of and let's say used as a filler word, then as a filler word. So in place of that, using more pauses for the, you can use it for dramatic or momentarily pauses. You can, those are okay, but when coming to explaining the story, in middle of the sentence, if you pause, then it breaks the flow. So for example, when you said my friend came, then you paused, and then you said and told that I found a girl you're looking for, kind of, right? So you can work on the pauses. Coming to the speaker, Jurmin, use A 1 time, well 2 times, so 8 times, but 1 time, and again there were repetition of so 2 times. And also you use filler words, you see. So also during your speech, you can utilize your time, taking a pause, and rather than using crutch words, you can use a pause. So coming to evaluator, evaluator Carol, A was used 2 times, and was used 2 times, and there was repetition of at her place. So evaluator Wasim, A used 2 times and 2 times, so 3 times, and there were repetition of filler words, kind of, Akshay was flawless. Also the speaker Sumit was flawless in terms of CRPF. So coming to Toastmaster Pragya, table topic master Pragya, A was used 7 times, 4 times, so 6 times. Also you use filler words, 3 times. Again, I'll go to table topic speakers. Hari used A 2 times, as 2 times, so 2 times. Also there was a repetition of and. And also you use filler words, first of all, right, in that way. Harshad used so and 2 times. Sauj, but and so you use 2 times. Aditya used A 4 times, 2 times and 3 times. Table topic speaker Sahil used A 3 times, 2 times, so 3 times. and there was repetition of I. Speaker Samarth used 2 times, so 4 times. Yeah, that is my report. Thank you everyone, and yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sujit, for the very detailed report. I think if anybody was listening, the most diligent listener award that would go to Toastmaster Sujit for listening to each and every crutch word. Toastmaster Sujit, just one feedback for you. If you can similar to what I mentioned to Toastmaster Shamil, you can mention that, let's say, for example, Toastmaster Deepak, a few words that you might need to be cautious of would be so and because you use it a lot, would help with you spending more time on giving tips and tricks for your speakers on how they can minimize the crutch words, CRPF words. And also, if you can also acknowledge the people who had 0 filler words, you can maybe take a moment, give them a round of applause or some kind of felicitation for them. That will make them feel good for taking up the challenge of being filler free. But overall, great job. Round of applause for Toastmaster Sujit. Next, let's call the man of a lot of words. He has been diligently looking at our grammar and our English and our spoken skills. Round of applause for Toastmaster Ravi.
Hi everyone, I'm back. I'm back with the grammarian report. First of all, I'm very glad that no one made a debacle like which I did in my WhatsApp group. So congratulations for that. So regarding the word of the day debacle, there are 5 people who use the word of the day: Maria, Pragya, Aditya, Sahil, and Akshay. So congratulations for them. And regarding the words which are used by speakers, which are very worth to mention, even though they are like not very aesthetic words, they deserve to be mentioned. One of them is used by Jermaine, obligated, which means required to do it at any cost. And Sumit, he mentioned the word coveted, which means highly desired. And Deepak mentioned the word pivoted, which means changing direction suddenly. And Maria used diligently a lot of times. It is like now fetched into my mind. I might use multiple times. So which means doing something with very carefulness. And regarding thoughts or sayings, and there are some sayings which are nearly worth to mention. Maria mentioned that your time is limited, don't waste living someone's life. It has a lot of depth in it. Yeah, so that's a thing which we all can remember. And Shamil also mentioned, don't just minimize the time, but utilize it. That's a saying to worth to mention. And regarding the mistakes made by some of the speakers, like they're not very big mistakes, like something like nitpicks are related to tenses. So there is one person who mentioned, I thought it is going fine, but as it is past, we can mention it was going fine. And then someone mentioned it begin with my parents. Again, as it was a past tense, we have to use began with my parents. And then the thing is going to met with my family. As it is a future, we have to use going to meet with my family. So yeah, that's my grammarian report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi, for talking about the good examples, the people that use the word of the day, as well as places where we can improve. Just a small feedback, Toastmaster Ravi. You can be a bit louder when delivering places where people need to improve. And you can also choose one grammar rule that you'd want the audience and our Toastmasters to remember and take back. So when you were talking about the tenses, maybe you could very quickly go over what are the 3 tenses and what are the rules that we should follow in a very simple way. But overall, great job. Round of applause for Toastmaster Ravi. And finally, our special role taker, the leadership in one line. Cannot wait to hear from you. Round of applause. Please welcome Toastmaster Twinshu.
how many of you think learning leadership lessons is actually hard? Can I see raise of hands? Unless you learn from others' mistake or experience. Thanks to Deepak for giving us all the leadership lessons that he has learned throughout his life. Thank you, Deepak, from all of us. Good evening, Bright Hearts, Toastmasters, and dear guests.
Good evening.
Now it's time to see what leadership lessons we can think of when I say half of the leadership lesson lines in a way when I give you just this example. You have to just raise your hand. Raise your hand. I may pick the one who did not raise the hand because you have to never wait for the right time. The first thing is stop waiting for the right moment because Ravi can never come. Correct. The second one would be a good leader listens, but a great leader a good leader listens, but a great leader, yeah, Sam, understands. Someone wants to give the next try, and they try. Implements, correct. Or maybe just acts on it. The third one, failure is not the end. It is the beginning. Next. Sorry?
A stepping stone.
Stepping stone. More. The last one. Of a new journey. Beautiful. A leader who never makes mistakes is a leader who never makes mistakes.
Unrealistic.
Good one.
Unreal.
Unreal. Or maybe either perfect or never lead at all. The next one, the hardest leadership lesson is. Yeah, Hari. Sorry? Empathy. Learning from your mistakes.
Don't micromanage it.
Yeah, that is the Money, if you want to try. The hardest leadership lesson is be friendly.
Hardest leadership lesson.
Be friendly like Money and lead the Toastmasters, Bright Hearts Toastmasters. So today, this is the end. Not for our leadership goals, because it's not about just learning, it's about taking actions from what we have learned. And let's see, and now we have a challenge that to not debacle when the leadership we got the next term. So that is it for my time. Back to General Director of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Twinshu, for a very special role. When he first introduced leadership in a line, I was curious, what is this segment going to be about? But it also ties back to my feedback. Toastmaster Twinshu, if you could have explained what your role is and what the expectation is from the audience, were we supposed to listen to the speeches and your leadership in lines would be aligned to that? Or would these be general quotes and phrases that we could just think about? So if you could have just set the context a bit better, I think the audience would have been able to answer better. But overall, I like the unique idea that you had. And it made us all think, and it also gave us a good laugh opportunity. So great job, Toastmaster Twinshu. Round of applause. Quickly moving into my evaluation of the entire meeting, the third segment. Timer, how much time do I have? 4 minutes. Okay, great. So let's start with our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Somil. I love that you had an icebreaker. I love the energy you brought to the stage. I was joined virtually to see the activity. I couldn't be part of it, but I also love how you tied it with the crescendo announcement. You know, never have I ever, and then just getting into the crescendo announcement. Just another feedback there could be a bit clearer in the rules. Were the people who were supposed to have never done it raise their hands, or the people who have done it raise their hands? It was a bit unclear, but overall, fun idea to welcome people into the meeting. As the Sergeant at Arms, if you could have also talked about the washroom, the rules, and the rules about Toastmasters. I'm not sure if I missed it and you would have talked about it, but I did feel that that should be mentioned, that the 3 rules are, let's be careful when we talk about religion, sex, or politics, be mindful of people's sentiments, not to walk in, move around when somebody's speaking. So if you could have mentioned that, if I had missed it, my apologies, but that is something that the Sergeant at Arms is expected to do. But I love that you tied it with the theme of leadership already from the get-go. So great job, Toastmaster Somil. Next, moving to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Priyansh. Toastmaster Priyansh, I love the pride you showed as the presiding officer over all the awards and accolades that Bright Hearts had won. It really was a moment of pride and a moment of energy for the audience. I would suggest if you can also add voice modulation, as the PO's address is an opportunity for you to also practice your speaking skills. You could have built up the momentum, we won the most coveted award for PR, something like that, that brings that energy automatically to the crowd. That is just one feedback for me. And also when you announce that the meeting is open, you could have done it with a lot more jest. Meeting number 71. I could not hear what meeting number it was because you did it a bit lower because you were moving towards the gavel. So add that vocal variety and energy in whenever you want to announce something, because that's the energy the audience takes back. But overall, great job, Toastmaster Priyansh. Moving into our leader of this meeting, Toastmaster Deepak, the Toastmaster of the day. Very apt theme. I think Toastmasters core, one of the core pillars of Toastmasters is leadership. And I very much saw you working really hard with how you want to take this entire segment, the way you divided the 3 lessons, the 3 takeaways, and the way you placed them in between each segment. I really, really like that. And I also could see that you were making an effort to be louder, because a lot of feedback that you have got is to be louder, to be able for everybody to hear. And I think all of us can agree that today, Toastmaster Deepak, we could hear you and you were clear in how you were speaking. So let's give him a round of applause. Just a few areas of improvement from my side. Now that you have taken up the Toastmaster of the Day role, I'm sure you would have realized how many things you would have to navigate through. But just one thing which you can do is acknowledge each speaker that comes before you and who is going to come after you. So what I missed was, when a prepared speech, when the speaker is done, when they are heading back, you can utilize that time to talk about, thank you, Toastmaster Ilango, for talking about a checklist that you have. And I hope all of us take care of the checklists we create. Just a small line which makes the speaker heard, but also creates a smooth flow between each segment. And number 2 would be to avoid using too much jargon. While Toastmasters, right now, our crowd, we have a lot of people who are from a corporate background and we might understand, but there are also people who might be from college, students across all areas that might not understand specific jargon that you use. When you mentioned the SAP HANA project, when you're talking about the presentation you had, rather than going into the details, maybe you could summarize it in a general way. We had a very complicated deal that was going on. We had a very complicated project, and the way it was being managed was not really done well. So obviously there was confusion. So here you kept it generic enough for everybody to understand. So those would be my 2 areas of improvement for you, but great job on your voice modulation, your energy, and taking up the Toastmaster of the Day role for the first time. Once again, round of applause for Toastmaster Deepak. Moving into our table topic master, Toastmaster Pragya, I think you have such an infectious energy. When you come on stage, you have a smile on your face, and that makes everybody smile. And the way you introduce each speaker, you follow the Toastmaster way methodology of having the table topic, name, table topic, and name. I love that you implemented that. If you could have also, the same feedback that I gave to Toastmaster Deepak, follow up from what the speaker said, it would have helped each speaker feel heard. And it would also help you practice your impromptu speaking. I love that you had already placed chits, given people all of that. I love that preparation you put into it. The topics that you chose, I also like that it was aligned to the theme. However, maybe it could be a bit more simpler because I felt like it got a bit repetitive after one point. But overall, great job there. Those were the major role players. I do have feedback for each of the table topic speakers, but in the interest of time, you can reach out to me after the meeting. That was your Hitler for the day, General Evaluator Maria. Mussolini for the day. General Evaluator Maria signing off. I think we can get into the vote, bit.ly/BHTM vote 2. I think Somil will just put it on the screen. Take a moment to vote. We are looking for at least, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 23 votes. So take your time to give your feedback. It really helps, and that is the core of Toastmasters. So you go for it. I will also take this time to take feedback.
Please wait, there's some problem.
Yeah, when I clicked on Toastmaster, it took me to the guest page.
The guests, are you, when you fill up and you press the last one, is it taking to the details?
Yeah, both options. Huh. I'd like to invite our presiding officer, Toastmaster Priyansh, to take it forward from this point.
While our Sergeant at Arms is preparing the results, we can have some conversation. How you guys like the meeting today? Great. I'm sure that you guys must have learned at least one lesson, which you will be using in your upcoming leadership positions. I have few of the announcements to make. On May 10th, we'll not be having any meeting. The reason you will get to know soon. On May 17th, the meeting venue is changed. It will be in Bloom. Please follow our social media handles or get in touch with our ExCom members. You'll get the updates. And for the next announcement, I would like to call Akshay.
Okay. I would now like to also call to join me on stage two very, very charismatic people. Can I have on stage our President, Toastmaster Mani Kumar, and our Associate Vice President of Public Relations, Toastmaster Jurmain Ahmed, come on stage. You see this face? That's the face of someone who has no idea why she's on stage right now. So we're here to talk about Crescendo, which is happening next weekend. I think the long and short of it is, first of all, there's not going to be any meeting next Sunday. But what is Crescendo, Mani, and what are you looking forward to next Sunday and Friday and Saturday?
I'm looking for three important things. First and foremost, the vibe what Toastmasters brings in the level of Crescendo, the district conference. Second, the contest, witnessing together with our Bright Hearts family, our extended HSR Toastmasters family, and all division and districts who are coming at this place. Third and most important, having fun and enjoy the Kochi environment, all the beaches where we all going together and enjoy the Kochi and Kerala food. And there are very, very important and prominent speakers. The Toastmasters International Director is going to come there and be present and have time together. These are the reasons which I'm looking forward to go and attend Crescendo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mani. Jurmeen, what are you looking forward to at Crescendo, happening on May 8th and 9th and 10th at Gokulam Hall in Kochi?
First of all, I'm staying in Gokulam Hall,
Oh,
that
wow.
same venue. I don't want to miss any second of the fun. And my clear agenda is I want to see you win.
Ah.
That's right. The deal breaker was I saw last year's Crescendo photos, fun, beach, everything. If this was a deal breaker, I want to have that fun and take the fun beyond this club in an outside venue and have a community with a lot of fun and share the win.
Yeah,
Lot of
awesome.
share. I can predict the future. You see.
Priyansh, from the heart of North India to the heart of South India, what are you looking forward to in Kerala?
Look forward to basically the networking, because we'll be meeting lots of Toastmasters there, and the fun we will be having while going in a train. Vande Bharat, all full boogie book with Bright Hearts and HSR Toastmasters. I know there's gonna be lots of fun, and the hotel rooms fun which we had after party which we go for. There's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you for specifying on hotel room fun with absolutely no context. I'm sure they interpreted that the right way. So we're all here to just tell you that, well, this coming weekend, it's going to be a big weekend for Bright Hearts, because as a full-fledged club, it's the first time we are representing with such huge numbers. We have a total of 22 registrations from Bright Hearts Toastmasters, the second highest in the district, just one short from HSR Toastmasters. Of course, it is a thrilling experience to be able to represent Bright Hearts in all 4 contests. And of course, Jurman, I'll try my best not to disappoint you, and I will try to make sure that we disappoint every other club in the district this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But more than anything, I'm just looking forward to our club going there, spreading our joy, spreading our love. And by the end of that conference, if we can have the 500 plus attendees say to themselves, to their other club members, to their family members back home that, wow, I met so-and-so from Bright Hearts, and I don't know, but that person just seemed to do things the right way. That's the one thing that would make me happy. That is one thing that would make Mani happy. In case someone is feeling FOMO, I just want to let you know that the registrations are still open. Kerala is not that far away. I haven't booked my journey to Kerala yet because it's off season and it's easy to get a bus. So don't worry. If anyone wants to come, there is still time. Whether you're a member, you're the guest, just reach out to Mani, me, Priyansh, or Jurman. Thank you so much. See you all next weekend, and hopefully we'll have a lot of good news to share. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The results are now ready. We'll go. So for the best table topic, we have the person who has been managing our agenda, trying to fill in the slots. Please help me welcome Sayuj for the best table topic speaker. For the best role player, we have someone who has evaluated the full meeting from start to end, gave us the feedback on every point. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Maria. The best auxiliary role player is the person who checked on the grammar, which we were speaking on stage. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ravikant. Now, the best evaluator is the person who is going to represent us next week. Please help me welcome best evaluator for a meeting, Toastmaster Akshay. The Best Speaker Award goes to the person with the speech title, not a checklist, but he has checked all the boxes for being the best speaker. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ilango. Shift. Congratulations to all the meeting winners. Can we have a round of applause for all the role players who did absolutely well on stage? Next announcement is for guests. If you are willing to take any information regarding the membership, you can contact me or Mani regarding any questions you guys have after the meeting. With that, I will now adjourn the meeting number 79 of Bright Hearts Toastmaster. Can we guys come up for a photo?